a lot of people of my sort of generation grew up making airfix kits. So when I found out about here and retired, wanted something to do, it was absolutely ideal.
One of the problems when you go into retirement for a lot of people can be loneliness, because you're suddenly on your own after having worked in a big corporate environment. And we have all the normal banter you'd expect. If you cock up, you know about it.
We are here in the Lightning Building at the Bentwaters Cold War Museum, and I am here with one of the restoration team for these beautiful aeroplanes you see behind me, Dennis Crow. So Dennis, please tell us what you are doing here in this beautiful hangar.
Basically preserving Cold War aeroplanes for the future generations to be able to see.
I mean, the satisfying thing is when you see visitors come in here and their face lights up at seeing the aircraft. That varies from people who've never been close to an aircraft of this sort, who think it's amazing, through to the people like, I think Dennis mentioned, the previous Lightning pilots who come and see it and say, well, you're making a magnificent job of this, it's really good to see. What
I find really interesting is, like, for example, when we restore a car, me and Freddie were talking about it earlier, it can take about a year to 2 years, maybe longer than that, but you guys have been working on some of these for like 9 years, did you mention?
Yeah, well, remember, we only work on a Sunday, we come on a Tuesday, and we come on a Wednesday morning.
So this is a definite labour of love for you guys.
It's a hobby. It's a hobby, and luckily for most of the team, we're all retired. So I came here 12 years ago and I've been here ever since.
So you said you absolutely love the Lightning, which is behind me, because you used to see them flying. So where did you see them flying? What was your affinity with them?
My father was in the RAF, and we were fortunate to be out in Singapore in the 60s, late 60s, and while I was out there, 74 Squadron Lightnings came out to join the base there. So I used to see these flying every day.
Yeah.
Very noisy, very spectacular though. And that's really how I came to know all about Lightnings.
You fell in love with them?
Fell in love with them, yes. So if you want me to power up the cockpit, I could do?
Yes, definitely, definitely.
Right. So this is the way the ground crew would normally do it.
Oh, and you mentioned this ladder as well. This has been specially made by one of your team, hasn't
Correct.
it?
And I said we had a visit from a Lightning pilot the other day, and he said he wouldn't tell the difference between this and the original. So.
Amazing. You can see, if you can get in there, Freddie, you can see how much work has been done from those pictures. Yep. Seeing it like that to seeing it like this is absolutely amazing.
The seat all works, it's all been rebuilt. So if I operate, seat
wow. So what time would these have been flown?
So this was flying in 1967. 68, 69, through the 60s, late through the 60s. But what's phenomenal about it is it was designed at the end of the 40s, 50s. Yeah. No computers, no CAD systems, drawing off this stuff.
Wow.
And it's so complex, and it was very advanced at the time. These could do Mach 2.2, which is very fast. Yeah. And not many aircraft can do that today. So.
It is absolutely amazing. The work you've done is stunning.
So all this has all been re-engineered so it works properly. If you look round the back, you'll see wires hanging out. Right, well those are all my wires. Everything in this cockpit, whether it be a switch, an instrument or a light, has all been rewired. And all the wires terminate out the back there. And all the wires have got unique numbers on. And there's a spreadsheet that links everything, and lots of schematic diagrams that show what goes where. There's another one that I'm doing there at the moment, which is an armament indicator. It's a lovely indicator with lots of little coloured lights that come up, and it arms the missile. Armed, then the event locks on, they're green, and then when you pull the trigger on here, this is all wired, the missiles have gone.
Oh my goodness.
So it's just showing the indicator working.
Yeah, that's so cool.
I had no background on Aero Engineering, as do none of us here, but we've all got engineering skills, either mechanical. I'm an electronic engineer. It's usually common sense.
Yeah.
You know, there's always information around that you can find. Do your research and then you can start on the project.
The T-33 is owned by the American Air Force Museum, so it's technically on loan to us.
Right.
But every year some of their people tour the entire UK checking on the aircraft that they've loaned and checking various things like radioactivity levels in the instruments and things like that.
Are they radioactive
now? No, this one's been checked, and you'll be pleased to know in East Anglia here is the lowest background radiation reading they've ever come across.
Well, that's handy.
Which is nice. But they said they thought we were doing a brilliant job of doing the T-33.
Oh, amazing.
So when you see the people like that who know what it involves in doing it, saying you're doing a good job, that's really satisfying.
Yeah, it must make
just
you guys
as
feel
much as
amazing.
somebody who, you know, has never seen something close and they think, wow, this is wonderful.
Yeah.
And it's important to get the younger people involved because, you know, as I think with most museums, a lot of the volunteers tend to be retired people who are always not going to be here forever, or people that are at work, they've got a day job, so they haven't got the time to do it. So trying to encourage new people to come along is important.
Definitely, definitely. And I think it is an amazing job that you're doing, and it really warms my heart because when I was younger, I always used to go to aeroplane museums with my granddad because he absolutely loved it, all the things about the war, and he used to take me round, and it brings back so many memories to me, just coming in here and being around these aeroplanes and remembering the love that he had for them. I mean, my nan, she still has pictures of Spitfires and Hurricanes in the lounge, like the massive ones the size of the wall, because my granddad adored them so much. So coming in here makes me feel really happy.
Oh, that's good.
And it excites me, and I hope that other people can come here and have that same experience as well. And you guys are making that happen, which is amazing.
Certainly the people, because we've only started doing visits in here this year, and they've been really popular. People really enjoy coming and seeing the aeroplanes close to, and even just the smell of an aircraft hangar brings back memories for old pilots and so on and so forth. So
definitely,
it's really good to see.
When I just went up and looked at Dennis's work up there, and the smell took me straight back to when I used to go to the museums with my granddad, and we got to sit in the aeroplanes. That smell instantly hits you, and it's like down memory lane. So it's really amazing.
Good.
So thank you guys so much for restoring these for us.
Well, we enjoy it. That's good.
No, I love it. I love all the history stuff. I could dress like this every day if I could, but it's a lot of effort.